Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Uh, Welcome, my lovely grade 9 students. This is your ICT manager, Manager Ibrahim. So, rather than carrying out a revision with you today, I have a message for you today. Now, I won't be revising really much of anything because during the course of this time, we focus majorly on practical aspects. Now, my advice or my message to you is to go back and take whatever you've been taught right from your grade 7 till now serious. Right? Right from your grade 7 till now serious. Believe you me, your questions are not being set on what you are being taught in grade 9. I set your questions based on everything you learned during the course of your studies from grade 7 to 9. So the best you can do is to go back and reflect on whatever you've been taught from your grade 7 to 9. Best thing best, go and take up your evergreen textbooks and start revising. That is the best revision that you can do or leverage right now. Take your time and go through your evergreen textbooks. Now, how do you go about your evergreen textbooks? Now you go through your evergreen textbooks by attempting questions, right? When you attempt the questions and you pick an answer, if the answer is correct, fine. If the answer is not correct, fine, right? But the major thing I want you to ask yourself is what? Why? Right? If it's correct, why is it correct? If it's wrong, why is it wrong? Is that okay with you? Now, if it's correct or if it is wrong and you've asked the question why, that will give you an hint on the conclusion to the answer given has been reached. And that is the best way to learn. I do not see any other way for you to learn this than using this method. Okay? If, for example, now you are learning about networking and quite alright, attempted it and it didn't go well, you ask yourself the question, why did this go well? Alright, if you have been told, you've satisfied your curiosity on why it didn't go well, then other questions can come up. Okay, here's how they reached this conclusion. How did it work? What was the thinking behind it? That will go a long way for you. Now, for the practical aspects that I've taught you, whether you like it or not, these practical aspects that you've been taught in Asafwa so far will reflect in your basic exams. Do not think you will escape it. You can't escape it. If you are not being asked practical aspect on Microsoft Word, you will be asked practical aspect on Microsoft Excel. If you are not being asked practical aspect on Microsoft Excel, you will be asked practical aspect on your Microsoft Access. I have left enough resources, abundant resources in your Google Classroom. Do well to go through it. Do well to go through it. This will aid your self-paced learning and try as much as possible to implement whatever you have learned those resources. I look forward to seeing what you have so far. Now you do me a favor, right? I want you to go through those resources and implement them. That means if you have done any implementation or carried out any task, I want you to comment back with the what? That task, right? Comment back. That means I want you to re-upload that task. Send that task that you have carried out to me for me to review and for me to grade. And tell you also where you've gone wrong and where you've gone right. Is that okay with you? Now, during the course of your Excel, I want you to take note of this layout, right? Take the ribbon layout. Take the ribbon layout, the upper part of this frame you are seeing. The ribbon layout where you can find what? Your tools, right? Take the ribbon layout as your friend, right? That's for your Excel. Take the ribbon layout as your friend and master the formulas. I have left a vast number of formulas on your Google Classroom for you to practicalize, right? Take your time, even though you master just the basics, the sum, the percentage, averages, the if statement, take your time and master it, especially the basics. Leave the advanced behind. Is that okay with you? Now, do not play what? With the layout. That's all I can advise you on this. Next, we will talk about what? Your assets. Now, in your assets, I want you to know what database means. Is that okay with you? Know what your database means, right? If you understand what the database means, you simply understand what what the Microsoft Access is all about. Is that okay with you? So take your time to understand it, right? Also, know key features of the what? Of the Microsoft assets. Know key features of your Microsoft assets. Things like the table, the query, the form, the report, and the rest of it. Is that okay with you? Now, this is what your database is. A group of what? A collection of what related information stored in an organized way. I told you it's like a stack, right? A stack of related informations. Is that okay with you? Take your cabinet in your classroom as example, right? Take your cabinet in your classroom as example, where each column is labeled with a subject and each role is what different aspect of that subject. Maybe the top rule can be maybe practical aspect, the second theoretical, the third maybe theories, right? But you still know that what each rule is a stack of what related information under a particular column, right? So next we have examples of database. Just like your school here, we have a database that records all your details as well as along with your parents' details, just to keep in touch with you. We have hospital record, library book, information, and store inventories. Right? This is the steps you take in creating what a database. First, you open up your Microsoft Access, click on what blank database. You create a what a table. This table will hold what fields and what rows, right? You edit these fields, you input your data, and you save what this database for you to be queried later, right? That is all. Next, we talk about what advantages of using database. It is because it is easy to use, affordable, reliable, efficient, and what? It is good for what medium to small data. But though it is still large compared to what your native Microsoft Excel, right? So in summary, you can see what your Microsoft Access stores manage data using tables, query forms, and so I believe we've reached the end of this. I wouldn't say revision, but an advice or a message. So take your time to go through your materials diligently. Best of luck. But